Hello, I am D-Man, back with another Total Drama video. This time we're doing Total Drama Mega All-Stars, or what if Total Drama All-Stars took place after Pahkitew Island? So that's why there's Pahkitew Island characters here. 26 episodes, just basically All-Stars, but bigger, and bigger always means better. Yes. I've thought about what the elimination order would be, and I've thought about all that stuff. I don't know how some specific plots would go or anything, but let's just start off with episode 1, Heroes vs Villains. Obviously same challenge and stuff here. The losers of this one, it's going to be the hero camps losing in the same way as in the actual All-Stars. However, the difference this time is that this is a non-elimination challenge, so no one goes home. Yay! Someone will still go to Boney Island, and that will still be Lightning. So Lightning will go to Boney Island, no one is eliminated in the first episode. Now episode 2, Evil Dread, you can this is where you can have sort of the mouse stuff begin to happen and stuff, sort of the same way as in regular All-Stars. There's going to be, the difference this time will be that, obviously because we have some extra characters here, Scarlet just really hates Max, so Scarlet is going to, I'm going to say Scott's going to sabotage Max a little bit. I'm also going to say that Max miscounts instead of Lightning. Basically what I'm saying is that Max is the first person eliminated. Sorry Max, but it's hard to make this. There's a lot of All-Stars characters. I guess one thing I should note is the All-Stars cast is pretty much the same as the regular one. There's no Sam, we have Brick instead of Sam, and then we have Pahkitew characters. Other than that. And I guess we have Owen as well, that's extra. Episode 3, Saving Private Leechball. This one, I feel like it just makes more sense. Obviously you can have Joan had this rivalry still. Obviously there'd be a rivalry between Sky and Dave, which one and Jasmine would obviously get along nicely. Look at these four. Owen won't be having the best time here. I kind of think of Sam in All-Stars, except it's Owen. But when I watch All-Stars, whenever I look at Sam in All-Stars, I think of Owen, so it works out. For this one, obviously there's more characters and stuff, but I'm gonna say that the I should have probably mentioned that Owen goes to Boney Island at the end of episode 2. Episode 3 though, the villains are once again losing, just like in All-Stars. The person going to Boney Island is going to be Lindsay. Lindsay sort of messes things up a little bit, so she feels bad, volunteers herself to exile. And now for the villain is Vultures. I'm gonna actually have the Lightning hit Scott. Oh dear, that's not very good. Now you could I think it makes a little bit more sense than Joe, and hey, Lightning gets an extra episode, that's always cool. Lightning gets eliminated. Of course, it's a little bit closer, because there's extra characters and stuff, but Lightning ultimately still goes home. Now episode 4. This is the Food Fright episode. Obviously, Villainous Vultures are going to be doing, well, they have Owen. The Villainous Vultures have Sugars, but then there's, I'm going to say it's kind of pretty much just replace Sam with Owen and just have the exact same plot. Which obviously means then Owen leaves in this episode, and the same sort of thing, Scott goes to exile. You know what? totally forgot to do something here. Let's go back real quick. Nothing happened. You've no idea who's been eliminated. No idea. Duncan and Courtney swapped teams. Anyways, episode 4, Owen goes in. Obviously, Scott and Courtney start getting along a little bit. Sky and Dave still having a rivalry. Mal starts doing his Mal stuff. Mal breaks Sierra's phone in this episode. In the previous episode, we'll say Mal breaks Whistle, something like that. But in this one, Mal breaks Sierra's smartphone, and this is sort of where Sierra starts losing it just a little bit. Because one thing I don't like about All Stars is how Sierra starts hallucinating before her smartphone gets destroyed. The reason I don't like that is because there's a moment where Sierra's like, if I lose my phone, the internet, I'll lose my mind. If they're gonna stick with that plot, actually have Sierra lose her mind after her phone gets destroyed. Just saying. Now, episode 5. This one is Earthquake Dodgeball. You can I sort of thought combine Masters of Disaster with Dodgeball. In this particular episode, the villainous Vultures lose again. When it comes to the Campsters, Cameron, this is Sierra starting to kind of hallucinate and stuff like that. Cameron's like, I need some time away from Sierra, exiles himself to burn the island. And when it comes to the villainous Vultures, Sugar kind of fucked it up a little bit. So Sugar is going home for this episode. Anything else I want to mention? Obviously, Duncan and Gwen. I should probably talk about them. Duncan and Gwen here. I'm gonna say they actually like each other more than in All Stars, because I don't know, like, if you watch All Stars, Duncan and Gwen are barely a couple. Like, I don't get it. Obviously, Gwen's still also trying to be friends with Courtney, but I'm just gonna have it so Gwen and Duncan actually sort of stick together a bit more here. Because, if you're gonna do Guancan, right, if you're gonna go through all that effort, the whole love triangle thing, that Guancan, please stick with Guancan. At least someone's gonna like it. At least someone likes Guancan. No one's gonna like nothing. Which is what we ended up getting. But anyways, episode 6, Moon Madness. This is pretty much the episode where Mal makes a little brief cameo, so let's get Mal real quick. Mal will be in here somewhere. There he is. Mal's gonna briefly appear for this episode. He obviously breaks Cameron's glasses. Zoe sort of sees it and goes, wow, that's really suspicious. I'll just put Mike over here for now. It's very sort of suspicious and stuff. And the other, so it's kind of weird. Obviously, Duncan goes, I recognize you, and all that kind of same stuff. In this episode, sort of the same thing. Mike ends up returning the last minute, loses the challenge. Cameron volunteers for himself to get eliminated, ends up going to villainous Vultures. Same kind of thing. Yeah, and that is also a non-elimination episode. Episode 7, Pinball Paintdown. I was kind of thinking of combining like the World Tour episode, or maybe the Pahkitew Island episode, the balls, along with sort of, the paint, so Paintball, Deer Hunter, so sort of combine those two challenges together. This is where Mal is fully returned. I'm not going to have it be Mike drops a boulder on his head. I'm going to have it, so I guess Mike will just put him down here. Mike's gone in the zone. Instead, what happens, you're in pinballs and stuff, lots of damage going on, and, pretty much does it. Like, maybe Mike has a really bad injury, and that's where Mao arrives. Because Mao sort of started with Mike getting an injury, so if Mao's there permanently, it should be a really big injury. And the boulder kind of is a really big injury, but instead of Mike willingly deciding, maybe Mike will discuss it, and then Cameron's like, no, don't do that, don't do that yet. We need to think about it more. But Mike gets injured regardless, not by his own fault, but just by the challenge, and that's where Mao begins. Now, in this episode, people are not liking Joe's attitude at all, and Joe's kind of not being super useful. In episode 3, Joe kind of was a bit selfish. Episode 2, same thing. Even this one, it's kind of like everyone's getting kind of sick of Joe, so they eliminate her. She's kind of annoying them. Heather definitely does not like Joe. Gwen and Courtney sort of start getting along. Duncan does a little bit more heroic, of course, but it's not crazy heroic yet. Episode 8, Fashion to the Next Level. Obviously, this one would be to do some sort of fashion challenge. I was thinking episode 6 from Revenge of the Island, combined with, some other challenge. This one, I'm gonna have the heroic hamsters lose. Scott would go to the, Scott would have went to exile in episode 6, and Rick actually would have gone to exile in episode 7. Episode 8, Hurricanes lose, and Lindsay, fortunately, was not very good with the fashion. I know, it's terrible. At least she does better than in regular All Stars, but yeah, episode 8 is where Lindsay goes, because here's the thing with Lindsay, she's not that relevant to any of the stories. She's not relevant to the Mouse story, not really that relevant to the Courtney Gwen, Duncan stuff, not even particularly relevant to any of the Dave and Sky stuff, but that would be obviously be happening, as well as Scarlet obviously is sabotaging and stuff as well. Lindsay just doesn't particularly fit anywhere, so that's why Lynn's going home. Episode 9, Zombies Catastrophe, obviously combining episode 9 of Pahkitew Island, along with some other episodes. I didn't really. You can sort of come up with what you think these challenges would be. For episode 8, Scott would go to Boney Island and he's looking for the idol. Episode 9, the heroes once again lose, and Sean's fear of zombies really gets him, especially with Mao. Mao sort of influences Sean to be like, man, there's zombies everywhere and stuff. Mao kind of causes Sean to lose it just a little bit too much, kind of causes Sean to lose the challenge for heroic hamsters, and then goodbye Sean. Jasmine does not like it. Episode, obviously, for the person going to Boney Island, episode 9, it's Scott once again. He's still looking for that idol. Now, episode 10, Climb Up the Mountain King. I was thinking of the one in episode 3 of Revenge of the Island, where Ice Ice Baby or whatever, where they're climbing up that weird pillar thing, along with some other challenge. Obviously, with an episode like this, with an episode name like this, I'm going to have it that this is where Duncan figures out that Mao's from juvie. Mao does the whistle thing, which is all the Mountain King. Duncan realizes, this ain't good. Obviously, now this time the villain's Vultures lose, however, and Dave's just kind of by himself here. He's kind of on the outskirts. He's not really he's just kind of whiny. He's not, remember he's got the whole sky thing going on still, so he's not doing too great. Of course, things end up being a little bit better. Dave does somewhat redeem himself, but it's not enough. Obviously, you also have Skull doing a little bit of sabotaging as well. Just ultimately, Dave just goes home here. I mean, 10 episodes of Dave. For most people, I'm sure that's plenty of Dave. If you want to know who went to Bonely Island for episode 10, it doesn't matter that much, but this would be now, and that's when the tune happens. Kind of think of it from In Mood Madness when Mike goes off and that's when that fixes. I kind of think of that same scene, but it's a completely different episode. And now episode 11, The Renaissance. That's just a cool. I have no idea what the challenge would be, but I like the name. I like the name. The Renaissance. For this one, the heroic hamsters would lose. This one, now would be definitely pretty much destroying everyone's stuff at this point. Mal would be convincing Zoe a little bit, but Zoe is a little bit suspicious, especially now that Duncan's like, hey, Mal exists. So there's this going on. Sierra's completely lost it ages ago. Jasmine and Sean are kind of just there. They're working together now that Sean is gone. And Rick would also be with Zoe. So it's kind of like this. And obviously, then for the villains, Vultures, you would kind of have Courtney Gwen sort of being rebels. I actually think Scarlet and Cameron would probably get along decently well, although Scarlet would manipulate Cameron, but Gwen would be nice to Cameron. Courtney, breakups, I'm going to say it, the Quantum does not break up. Which makes it a lot harder to convince Courtney to be friends, but Courtney does trust Gwen a little bit more, and obviously you have Scott and Courtney stuff going on. That's cool, and Alejandro, whatever. Anyways, heroic hamsters lose, so the person going to Bonely Island is Scott once again, and the person getting voted off, I'm going to make it Sky. Sky doesn't have any relevancy now that Dave is gone. So Sky is eliminated the next episode. You could even have it so Dave and Sky become a couple, and then Sky gets a little upset when Dave's gone, and Mal maybe takes advantage of that. And takes advantage of that sadness. So also with this would probably be the next episode. Episode 12, Suckers Punched. Well, think of it as it's Suckers Punch, so it's pretty similar, very similar. Heroic hamsters lose once again, and yeah, the villainous Vultures will get to decide who to vote off, and they do decide to vote off Sierra, which is Cameron's request. And the heroic hamsters send Alejandro to Bonely Island. Now, obviously, it'd be a little harder for Cameron to convince everyone to get rid of Sierra, but Alejandro and Heather could be like, well, Sierra is pretty powerful, like they kind of want to get rid of Jasmine or Rick. They're strong and stuff, but they're nice to Cameron in this instance. Sierra has also just completely lost at this point, so fair enough. This is also the point where obviously Scarlet takes notice of Val. Scarlet knows something is off with Mike, very off. And so Scarlet realizes that, hold on, Mike's maybe evil. Mike might be evil. Val might be evil, and this will be relevant. This will be relevant later on. Scarlet taking notice of Val's evilness. Episode 13 is going for the Plunder. Obviously, you'd have Another thing, you'd have a lot more scenes with Mike in his head. And even, obviously, you'd have some scenes where Mike briefly comes back for a second, and then now comes back. Kind of like, if you go to episode 8, there's that bit where Mike briefly comes back when Zoe's in danger, so you can obviously imagine there's more moments like that. Because still got to show off Mike at some. You got to show off that internal struggle for Mike. Episode 13, going for the plunder. This particular episode, the heroes lose once again. So it's a little tragic, but yeah, a little tragic. But basically, heroes lose again. Who do they vote off? Zoe and Duncan are working together. Mal, obviously working together. So they're either voting off Brick or Jasmine. Even though Zoe likes Brick more than Jasmine. Let's just say there's some sabotaging stuff going on. Mal just wants Brick gone. Brick's just too good. Mal sees it. Mal's like, nah, too good. I want chaos. And Brick is not. Yeah. Jasmine is not. Brick's nicer than Jasmine. Episode 14. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. It's about time the villains finally lose. And just for the record, Scott went to Boney Island again for episode 12. Scott goes to Boney Island again for episode 13. So Scott's just going every single time. But this time, villains Vultures lose. About time they lose. No idols are found. I'll say this. An idol is found, but it's not going to be used in this episode. Heather does find the idol and it is taken off of Heather. But I'm not going to say whether Alejandro found it, because Heather's just voted off here. Heather's just voted off. It's no idea who took the idol. It could have been Alejandro, but it could have been anyone or someone else. Who knows? Alejandro actually manages, along with Scarlet, work together to convince everyone else to vote off Heather. And we have finally made it to the merge. Welcome, mergers. We have... This is a similar merge to All Stars, but it's definitely not identical. Of course, all the characters that did merge in All Stars are the same ones here, with the exception of... No, it's actually the exact same All Stars merge as regular All Stars, but there's just an extra Jasmine and Scarlet. Of course, however, we have a lot of episodes ready to go, so we need to bring back some competitors. So, who do we bring back? The first person we bring back is Sean. Welcome back, Sean. Jasmine would obviously like that, and the second person would be Lindsay, because I like Lindsay, so hey. Anyways, you gotta be kidding me. Duncan's good boy stuff. This is where Duncan, yeah, he's too good, Duncan's been a very good boy. He does blow up the mansion, but he doesn't do it by himself. It takes some convincing of Scarlet and some convincing of Mal. They sort of work together here to convince Duncan to do it. Blow up the mansion, blow up the cottage, and Duncan kind of does it. And which at this point Gwen's like, oh, yeah, like Gwen's still with Duncan here, but now Gwen's kind of like sort of thinking, do I stick with this guy? I'm gonna have him just go to juvie and not to big boy jail. I'm just gonna have him go back to regular juvie because it's a little nicer. It would be a little, it's already cruel enough to send him to juvie here, especially because he's getting sort of peer pressured into it this time. Or you could even have something where maybe if you even have something where Duncan gets framed. Something. I don't know. You can have Duncan get framed and Duncan doesn't go to prison. Either way, Duncan is gone here. And we continue. Episode 60, A New Kind of Fever. Obviously, I should mention that there's no more Boney Island. Alejandro was the winner of the last episode. Brings no one to the hotel. Episode 16, Alejandro does find the footage. Zoe does think Mal exists because of Duncan. But she's not sure if Mal's here all the time, or, like, she knows Mal is here. And she knows, but she doesn't know how do you handle it? Do you confront him about it? Do you not? It's hard to tell. Actually, it also makes sense why Mal would peer pressure Duncan, because if Duncan knows who Mal is, and Mal figures that out, Mal's going to want to get rid of Duncan. So that would also make sense. But anyways, episode 16, A New Kind of Fever. Kind of think of it the challenge of like Scarlet Fever, except you don't have Scarlet take control and all that. You just Scarlet, just chill this time. The winner of this challenge will be Jasmine. And this is just going to be an automatic challenge elimination episode. So it's no voting, it's just you lose the challenge. Sorry, Lindsay, I like you. You get 2 extra episodes, but you're not going to win this. Episode 17, Zeek and You Shall Find. This is not the 100th episode. This could actually be the 130th episode, so I guess you could do that. Yeah, the 100th episode in this timeline would be Pahkitew Island episode 9, because in this particular timeline, Pahkitew Island takes place before All Stars. And so this would actually be episode 100 and... No, not 130, this is episode 120. No, it's episode 121. My math is really off there. Okay, what is it? Okay, that's kind of embarrassing. Anyways, Zeek and You Shall Find kind of plays out very similarly to the regular All-Stars, except now, instead of Cameron just getting injured by some, Feral Ezekiel, the Bolts and stuff, Mal actually injures Cameron. Mal is actually the one who injures Cameron out of the competition. Now, we've got Mystery of the Island, sort of a mystery episode. Now, in this particular one, Scarlet's got the big brain. Also, Gwen and Courtney are actually getting along now, since Nathan's not here. Even if Glunkin's still a thing, it's much easier to be friends, and you don't have to worry about it. It's much easier to be friends without Duncan sort of physically being there. Cameron, actually probably also have to say, Karen does just figure out Mal exists, and Mal just goes, you know what, see ya. Pretty much, the moment someone figures out Mal exists, Mal goes goodbye. With the exception of Scarlet. Scarlet figures it out, but Mal and Scarlet kind of like each other, because evil and stuff. So you sort of got the evil couple thing going on, which is interesting. But yeah, Scarlet gets her immunity here, and even though Alejandro is a pretty big target, Alejandro manages to sort of blackmail, or I guess blackmail Mal with the footage. Goes, you voting with me or else I'm going to show the footage to everyone. And so these 3 would vote for Sean, and I'm also going to have it so Scott Courtney vote for Sean, just because Sean and Jasmine are in a relationship, and that's an alliance, that's a powerful alliance. So Sean, fortunately, does not make it either. Pretty much the 2 people we brought back are already gone. So, final 8. Episode 19 is Break at the Playa de Losers. It's obviously a Playa to Loses episode, so pretty much everyone at Playa to Loses. And you could even, so then here at this point we'd figure out that maybe we could figure out, hey, maybe Duncan was actually framed, and so Duncan is sort of, free again, or if Duncan actually did blow up the mansion, then Duncan is maybe on a parole of some kind. So Duncan, it's not, he gets a little bit of a better ending. Either way, break the play loses, no one's eliminated, it's just a break. Episode 20, Sky High Rise. This one is kind of like climb a building of some kind, or something like that. Something where you gotta go up high. Sky high. And in this particular episode, Scott actually wins immunity, of all people, and I'm just gonna have it so Jasmine is just a very strong player. So Jasmine sort of, gets eliminated here. And so we got one Pahkitew Island character left, which is Scarlet. So we got the lethal duo couple, and we've got pretty much the All-Stars cast. The obstacle course. So at this point, Mal's getting kind of sick of being blackmailed, so he tries everything he can to screw up Alejandro, and so Zoe wins immunity. So kind of think of it like the actual obstacle course. Maybe have Alejandro fight a bit more. Maybe Alejandro actually have Alejandro just be like, hey, Zoe, here's the footage. And so Mal can't really do anything anymore. Like, Mal's like, and everyone's kind of starting to figure it out, and he was always kind of figuring it out anyway, so might as well just full on just be like, yeah, I'm Mal, Mike's gone forever, Zoe. So the footage ultimately doesn't matter too much. Zoe ends up winning, even though Zoe really does want to eliminate, like, Zoe doesn't want Mal to be here, but Zoe wants Mike to be here, so Zoe can't really vote for Mike. They could have voted for Skull, but everyone else is just gunning for Alejandro just because Alejandro and World Tour messed with them all up. Episode 22, Sunday Muddy Sunday, we're gonna actually have Courtney win immunity. I know, it's crazy. I'm also not gonna have the stupid chart. We are gonna have Gwen be eliminated though. The only way I can make this making sense is this is just a elimination challenge, so Gwen gets eliminated for losing the challenge, which, fair enough, because how am I gonna make a vote like this work? Like, yeah. Anyways, the final 5, Zoe, Mal, Scarlet, Scott, Courtney, so a bit of an interesting final 5. Episode 23, Anna, Mal, Catcher, it, they aren't catching Mal, but, it's a cool title anyways. They would be catching something though. And the winner of this one would be Mal. Everyone else just votes Scarlet. Scarlet and Mal kind of really like each other, and yeah, Zoe's not gonna like that at all, and Scott and Courtney just, even though they don't like Zoe, or Courtney and Scott don't like Zoe a whole lot, Scarlet be evil, and also Scarlet and Mal being a thing, they're gonna recognize it, and they're gonna be like, yeah, goodbye, Scarlet. Episode 24, Inedible Truce. This one would kind of be a mix of truth or dare. Episode 4, Pahkitew Island, mixed with maybe a little bit of a eating challenge. Winner of this one is going to be once again Mal. Good job. And yeah, Scott's going on. And now episode 25, The Bold and the Beautiful. And the winner of this one will once again be Mal. Mal is just undefeatable. Zoe and Courtney try their best, but Mal manages to sabotage both. And so now, who does Mal eliminate between Zoe and Courtney? I know this is going to seem brutal, but Mal is going to eliminate Zoe. Without Zoe, Mike can never come back. That's what he's thinking. So Zoe kind of fails in the end to bring Mike back. Right? Episode 26, the final reckoning. These are the final two. Now, kinda like with all the previous seasons, everyone is brought back to watch the finale go down, and there are some helpers. Courtney gets, let's say, Mal here gets 2 helpers. He gets Zoe, and he gets, you know what, Zoe and Cameron. Those are the 2 helpers for now. And Courtney would obviously get, so let's go Scott and everyone else is sort of off on the sidelines. And now, here's the thing though, right? Zoe doesn't want to help Mal at all, and neither does Cameron. Zoe just wants Mike back. So yes, even though Zoe is eliminated, Zoe can still bring Mike back. Mike manages to go to the top of that tower, so Mike's been doing his speaking thing the whole time. It's obviously longer in this. It gets to the top. It's not a reset button though. Instead, Mal's just kind of waiting up the top of the tower for a big, cool, epic-ass fight in Mike's head. Wouldn't that be so much cooler if Mike and all of Mike's personalities had to fight Mal, and they just barely beat Mal? Wouldn't that be such a cool way to finish Mal off than push that button? Have an epic fight, let's go. Mal's losing. Mike and his other personalities, they don't go away. Mal's defeated those, and Mal goes away. Mike returns back to the way he was at the beginning of the season. So, goodbye Mal. Mal has been eliminated because Mike has managed to return, and Zoe helped as well. Maybe, I don't know how you do that, but Mike is back. After all this time, he's in total struggles, he is back. And this is the actual final 2. And obviously you'd have an ending where Mike wins, and you would have an ending where Courtney wins. And that is my Total Drama Mega All-Stars. What if All-Stars happened after Pahkitew Island? Obviously I didn't explain things in a lot of detail, but obviously you could always decide, if you want to, you could always fill in the details about what certain challenges are, or how certain plot points went down. I think this works pretty well. I think it's definitely similar enough to All-Stars in a lot of ways, but it's also, I think different, and also I do think this is better, straight up, so it's pretty, also just having Pahkitew Island characters, that's cool, I know. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.